Hello everyone. I'm specifically going to be speaking on identity and how it ties in with your attitude. At every moment in time, whether we are consciously aware of it or not, we are always identifying ourselves with something. We always identify ourselves as a particular thing, whether or not we are conscious or we are unconscious of what it is that we are doing. For example, if I am a student in the university, I am conscious that I'm a student in the university. I identify myself as a university student, and so it shows in my attitude where I go to the lectures. It's time for tests, I come for the tests. It's time for exams, I write the exams. That is because I have identified as a student, and it has taken a hold, or it has made a turn in my attitude. So our attitude is based on the identity that we have. And so sometimes we are aware of this identity, sometimes we are not. Sometimes this identity we have limits us from having what we truly want to have, but we're not even aware of it. So, for example, you can always say that, oh, rich people are greedy, and you don't want to be a greedy person, but you want to be rich. But you have a belief that rich people are greedy, so you don't become rich because you have a belief that counters that. So majority of the time we have beliefs that counter what we want to be, and or who we desire to be, and because of that glitch, we tend not to get what we want, or go where we want to go, or be who we want to be, or have what we want to have. So having all those things and being all those things and then acquiring all those things, it has to come from a certain level of understanding of where you are as a being, as a person. Because when you know who you are, then you can know where you want to go. You understand? A lot of people don't even know where they want to go because they don't know who they are. So first of all, you have to know who you are first, and that has to do with knowing the identity that you believe to be true about yourself. Now, your identity always dictates your reality. Your identity always dictates your reality. Now, what is your identity? What is your reality? Your identity is like your personal claim about yourself, and then your reality is what you actually realize physically in this world that we live in. So in order to consciously change your physical reality, because what we have is a physical reality, this here is a physical reality, I am physically speaking to you. In order for you to change your physical reality, you have to change your spiritual reality. Now your spiritual reality is your identity. Your spiritual reality is your identity. And the Bible says, for those of you that understand the Bible or understand the metaphorical meaning behind the Bible, it says that the spiritual produces the physical. Right? Now, I can be able to enact a change within you, but it's from my voice. I'm speaking to you. And so if my voice or my words can change something within you, can you hold my words with your hands? No. But yet you can feel that I'm communicating something to you. You understand? So it's like that word that you cannot feel or you cannot touch is a spiritual thing. So the spiritual produces the physical. Even your attitude is a spiritual thing because it dictates the way you move, right? So every single part of your life has to do with that identity. An identity is also something that you cannot hold. Of course, you can have an ID card, an identity card, but the identity in itself, you can have the identity without even having the card. So the physical thing is of no relevance. It's just the attitude or the spiritual connotation, the spiritual reality, the identity. So the moment you can change your identity, you can change your reality. So what do you identify as today? What are you identifying as right now? The reason why I'm doing this video is because I identified myself as somebody who was going to be making videos and speaking to people. And you can see, I'm doing it quite well. You understand? It's basically just the identity I chose for myself. And you can do the same. And when you actually choose an identity, your attitude reveals it. It's simple. When you choose an identity, your attitude reveals it. When your attitude reveals it, then you know the identity you have chosen. And we are always choosing identities. We are always defining our realities. So how do you define your reality? How do you know what you are doing? Are you aware of what you're always thinking about? What you're always saying? What you believe to be true? What you accept as true? All these things are very crucial. What do you believe to be true? What do you accept as true? All those things are connotations, are meanings, are actually correlations of your identity. They actually correlate with your identity because you cannot have a belief about something being true and not have it tied down with your identity. Because for you to live as a human being, you need to have an identity. You need to have like a character that leads you. So it's very important for you to be aware of who you are now and where you want to go, and then understanding that unless you change your identity, you cannot transform that reality. There are infinite realities, there are infinite things that you can achieve. You just have to have the identity that's in line with that reality. So the reality that you are maybe strong, wealthy, whatever it is that you want, that reality you have to take upon the identity of the person already living that reality now. Because who you are now unfolds to tomorrow. So unless you take upon that attitude now, you cannot reap the results tomorrow. So it's the attitude or the seed that you plant now that if you continue fertilizing by paying attention to it, I'm going to speak about attention in the next video. But if you keep focusing on these things, then you begin to see how it begins to grow in its own way. So what you must actually do is be aware of who you are now and be aware of who you desire to be, and take upon the attitude of who you desire to be right now and continue living from that attitude. Take upon the identity of that person. What does that person believe to be true? What does he accept as true? What does he accept of the world? How does he view the world? How does he interact with the world? Take upon that whole person's attitude and begin to see life from that person now. And the more you do this, the more you get accustomed to doing this, and the more you begin to play out the part of that particular person now. And whatever part you play now will unfold in the future. So be aware of your identity and remember to change it to be of help to you and your reality. Thank you for watching.